So I had to get home, rush in, and then I realized I hadn't charged up. Hadn't put my tablet on the charger. I forgot this morning when I left the house, so I threw that on the charger until I got Pete's invite while I was changing clothes and trying to get myself situated. Took me a minute to locate. I had to find a long sleeve shirt because it's chilly in the house, but I'm still not trying to turn the heat on.
So. I had to break down and turn mine on this morning. I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah,
it wasn't cold this morning.
It wasn't cold there this morning.
Was it? It probably wasn't cold where you are. You just got them.
Y'all funny. The fact of the matter is, because
it only got up to, I think the high today was supposed to be like 65 or 68 or something. It was raining all day, so it didn't even get to that.
No, it didn't get. It didn't get to like maybe like 50, 58.
Yeah, like there was supposed to be the high was 60 something, but it never got to that. It was chilly all day.
We've been now at 54, it's like 55 all day.
So now it's like 65 in the house. I was like, ooh.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I was sitting there. I was watching the Lakers and the Celtics game, and I was just telling Rod, I was like, I actually didn't realize the Lakers actually had some quality young pieces, and if they were to get a LeBron and a Paul George, that they really wouldn't be that far off from being a top 14. Because the young talent, given the fact that if you put a LeBron and a Paul George, and see the thing about Paul George is he's still hungry. Like he's still looking for that title.
Right.
And he might get it. I don't think he's gonna get it out in OKC. We'll see. But you put him out there with these young stars, or potential stars, I should say, because they got a lot. Look, of all these guys they got out here in these Lakers, one or two of these dudes gotta come out being a decent, all-star caliber. I mean, they got a bunch of guys. They got Josh Hart, Ball, Kuzma. They got Randall from Kentucky. They got Ingram from Duke. One of these dudes gotta come out. One's gotta work.
Not necessarily. We've seen it before.
Yeah, but they look.
We would just like for one to come out because Magic Johnson is at the helm.
If I had
doesn't mean it will.
If I had to pick one, a lot of people are saying Ingram. This kid Kuzma's got a game on him. I'm curious to see how he develops. Yeah, man. So, well, let's. I guess we can start with basketball. So, I talked to my wife and she told me about the whole shoplifting thing. So he was actually still in what store he was at? Which store he was at? He was at something.
Louis Vuitton.
Oh. Louis Vuitton.
So I haven't seen any follow up on this, but you shoplifting out of country?
Yeah, man. I don't know if they're gonna let you back. And they were in China, right?
Yes.
China.
Yes.
Yeah, China really don't play those games
at all.
Look,
he might get.
He
flogged.
might have to go over there. He might have to go over there and get. Oh boy.
He might get flogged in the market square.
Wasn't it Georgetown that went over there and got into a fight with the national team on the court?
There's a couple times I've seen some stuff like that happen. And you would think they would have learned from all the shenanigans that went on with the swim team in the Olympics.
Listen, all I know is let's not go shoplifting.
Mm-hmm. It's like, first, let's not shoplift. Second, let's not shoplift at this store. And third, let's not shoplift at this store in China. I mean, really?
Like, no, let's go with let's just not shoplift.
Well, I started out each statement with.
But
I started out, that was the catch-all. I started out each statement with "That's not shoplift."
But just in case, for those that need more depth.
And I hate Previn, by the way, to comment on the article talking about it could have been worse. He could have been in North Korea.
I was cracking up at the meme just talking about LeVar Ball, talking about his kid leads the league, leads the NCAA in steals and haven't played a game yet.
That was great.
Was classic.
I don't know. I appreciate the Shawshank Redemption one personally. with him and Meek Mill.
Yeah, I did see that Meek Mill 2 to 4 years.
And the whole everybody's innocent in here. Don't you know it?
I saw that when I was gonna post it, and I'm like, dang it, somebody beat me to it.
That's epic.
Funny.
That's good stuff right there.
But they said Jermaine was supposed to have a press conference with somebody talking. I was like, nah, you might not want to do that.
Who, LeVar Ball?
Yes.
He was going to have a press conference.
He's
word that I heard last night before I went to bed that he was going to have a press conference. And then this morning when I woke up, said, well, they're going to wait for a little while and whatever. I don't know whether they was going to wait to see if bail was posted or somebody actually talked some sense into him. I'm like, okay.
What was he going to have a press conference about? What was he going to say?
Who knows? I'm not on the Ball family payroll.
What in the world could he have possibly said to make that situation okay?
Well, hopefully he would get up there and actually act like a concerned parent and say, you know, I apologize.
So he was going to do something different, Pete?
That's my point. That would be the only thing he could do because we don't want to hear the same crap. But like you said, anything he says, if it's not something that's calling out the wrong and calling out the, you know, consequences and what's going to happen moving forward, then we don't want to hear from you because you don't like, you know, it's a time and a place for certain things, and him having a press conference, just go in a corner somewhere.
I don't need you trying to sell me any more sneakers.
No,
I'm not here for that.
What he needs somebody real quick in sports to do something way worse, so this thing can get on the back burner. Because right now, y'all know how it works. It's a story out there, and then it stays, and it stays hot, and the memes come out, people talk about it, and then somebody else does something. He needs somebody right now to do something really, really stupid.
He's got
unfortunate for him. Unfortunate for him. The slow news week.
He's got a week.
Well, yeah, he's got a
Depending on what happens.
Well, you know, I was gonna say something might happen in football this weekend. Right. You know, well, because let's just be honest. The Panthers aren't on bye, so Cam is gonna be on the microphone. Don't tell it.
That's always a possibility.
Don't tell it.
And
Cam could go ahead and shut this down for him tomorrow. We just don't know.
But the other point too is who would have thought at any point in time that you would be sitting here thinking about AJ Green about to get suspended for choking somebody? Ooh. I mean, come on now. So that meant that right there tells you that anything can go down.
Right.
I'm like, of all the players in the league,
I was like, AJ Green is choking.
I almost called him by his government name. And I was like, what is he doing?
He had enough.
What is his government name? I don't even know what that AJ stands for.
I'm trying to figure out how to say it again. I want to make sure I say it right. Hold up here.
He had enough.
Yeah, it's Adriel. Jeremiah is his middle name, but Adriel.
Okay.
Adriel
Jeremiah.
I was about to say Adrian, but it's Adriel. Adriel Jeremiah.
Adriel Jeremiah Green. Ooh, they named him Jesus.
Yeah, that's AJ.
Probably named after his grandfather, somebody like that.
That's why his name is AJ Green.
AJ Green, right?
And you know he's from South. You know he's from South Carolina, Somerville.
That's a family name.
Somerville, South Carolina.
That explains so much.
I don't even know where Somerville is. Hold on.
But how mad do you have to be that you throwing punches at somebody wearing a helmet?
Oh,
okay, but why was
Somerville?
Okay, but what happened? Because I was working.
Okay, Somerville is not that far away.
I wasn't working. I was driving.
Somerville
what
is
happened?
far away from Charleston. Okay. Oh, I know where Somerville is. Okay, I'm sorry. It looks your boy. What's your boy? For the was it the Jaguars? What's his name? James?
I forget. Hang on.
James? Either way, he's one of those dudes that's kind of like a you remember this? Finnegan. I was about to say the dude that used to play for the Tennessee Titans, Finnegan. But yeah, he's kind of like one of those guys where he just kind of just gets in your skin or just kind of talks and talks and talks. So I guess AJ Green, coupled with the frustration of Andy Dalton doing his best version of being that Andy Dalton, not this Andy Dalton, but that Andy Dalton. Mm-hmm. And AJ Green just flipped out, man. He went bananas. He just ain't put that man in. He grabbed that dude from behind.
He yoked him up. Look, he did that Melvin from Baby Boy move.
Yeah, man. He did the old bouncer at the club move. You know?
Yeah, he did. I mean, I saw it when I got home. I saw it, and I was just like, "Well, what happened?" Because I got the notification on my phone with the breaking news, and it was like, AJ Green's ejected from the game for fighting, and I was like, AJ Green, what is? And so I thought it was a typo.
Yeah. Right.
But Jalen Ramsey is old boy's name for the Jaguars.
Oh, Ramsey.
Okay.
Ramsey. There it is. Ramsey.
Yeah, he had been talking noise before that particular game.
Yeah, everybody
he had shut AJ down before. And I
yeah.
guess he was chirping in his ear.
Yeah, and AJ,
Wow.
but that shows a lot of weakness on AJ's part, though. I mean, I get you getting frustrated, but you got to reel that in, man. You got to reel that in. It's been so. I mean, look, you know how many times we go on our job and we ready to jump on somebody and put them in the chokehold?
I'm sure.
Daily.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Did I say that?
You said daily?
I'm sorry. Daily.
I'm sure.
But you gotta reel it in. But I'm surprised.
Did I say that out loud? Oops.
I'm surprised he didn't get suspended though, which is funny.
Right.
Mike Evans got suspended.
What was your boy doing to the other dude? What was Jameis doing? Being
locked. But I think. I don't know what happened with that either, but from what I could tell, it looked like Jameis was pointing at something on the field and hit old boy in the head. No. I said, I don't know. I watched all I could see from the clip that I saw, because, if you're not watching the whole thing, you only get bits and pieces. No,
what he did, he was first pointing at someone on the field, and the dude walked by, and he purposely took a extra step so that he could get close enough to put his finger on his helmet, and then he pushed his helmet.
Okay, see, I didn't see that part.
Yeah, there's a difference where if you walk in and my finger's here and you walk and you hit it, he literally got behind him and said, And when he did that, the dude turned around. And here's the thing. The dude turned around and pushed him off of him.
Okay.
And when he did that, Mike Evans came and gave him a cheap shot and gave him the two-hand push in the back and knocked him on the ground. Then, I'm hurt with my shoulder, but I can get into a fight. Jameis Winston, he jumps into the fight and starts getting in the midst of the fight. Oh, but my shoulder's hurt.
Oh, I mean, I saw that. I saw that part, but I didn't see why it all ended up on the ground, because, when I was watching Sunday Night Football, they pieced it together. It was like Jameis was on the field and he wasn't supposed to be, and then Mike Evans, they had him on the ground. And I was like, well, what happened? Because I couldn't understand why dude turned around and pushed Jameis. So I didn't, they were cutting in and out.
Mike Evans did what he was supposed to do.
Protect his quarterback.
I guess they got him because he hit him with a cheap shot for two-hand push in the back, but it's all provoked by Jameis Winston. I mean,
but they didn't get him. They didn't get him for the takedown and jumping on dude on the ground. The push in the back was fine. I didn't mind that.
But my point is,
I figured the melee with the haymakers on the ground might have been what tipped him off.
But Lenise, you got the same guy watching the film of some dude putting some dude in a chokehold and then punching him in the helmet. I'm trying to figure out, am I missing something here? You get a push in the back and then fall on the player and you swing on him. He still got a helmet on. Or you get a chokehold and one gets suspended, one doesn't. I'm trying to figure out where the logic is. I mean,
Listen. I'm gonna tell you what the difference is. One owner cut a check and one owner didn't.
You know what?
It's not rocket science. It's the NFL.
Wow. Oh, look at that. Kevin Durant's hurt again. What's his name?
It don't matter. They don't need him until after All-Star.
I'm about to say he'll be there.
Pretty much, yeah.
They don't need him the games don't count until after All-Star, so it doesn't matter.
They'll come in this year the 5 seed and still make the finals. Anyway. But yeah, you're right. Be right about that, because I actually thought AJ Green was going to get suspended and Mike Evans was going to get fine. I thought it was going to be flipped, but maybe that check from Cincinnati owner. Maybe he was like, you know what? I'm docking Andy Dalton's check and I'm going to give that check to the NFL. Yeah, that
or
took
maybe,
Vincent.
or maybe the owner for the Bengals is supporting Roger Goodell's extension.
Probably.
I mean, there's options. There's a lot of moving pieces in the league right now. A lot of moving pieces.
A lot of big boy chess. A lot of big boy chess going on, huh?
Everybody's trying to play chess and not checkers.
Yeah.
A lot going on. But I need Jerry Jones to have a seat. Several of them.
Several of them in AT&T Stadium?
Sir, what you got is choices. You can sit in the skybox on the 50-yard. I don't even care. But I'm going to need you to have a seat. Because how are you all of us, you are indignant and going to sue the NFL if Roger Goodell gets an extension. And just last year, you thought he was doing a great job protecting the shield and all this other shenanigans and whatnot when he was going after Tom Brady. Stop it.
But he's going after Zeke now, so no, we can't have that.
Zeke fighting everything he got. Everything.
But you gonna sue? How you suing me? Sue me for what?
Right.
For what?
Right.
Because I'm Jera, and I gets my way.
Listen, somebody sit him down. His son needs to tap him on the shoulder, be like, "Dad, listen, shut up.
Right.
You go away."
How you nosing your way into the committee that votes on Rogers' extension, and you ain't even a part of the committee? But today, you send out a statement saying, "Well, I've decided to step down from the committee that I'm not a part of." I'm like, where did they do that at?
Only in rich white man land.
Oh, okay.
Only in rich white man land.
Funny. You are funny with that.
That's the only way. The only time that happens where you can be like, I'm on the committee, but I'm not on the committee, but I made myself on the committee.
Yeah, I guess
the only way that works.
The boss Arthur Blank around like, no, what we're not going to do is sign this extension. Yeah, Arthur was like, sir, I'm the chair of this committee.
Right. Yeah. Arthur Blank was like, I'll have I can cut my own billionaire checks. Thanks.
Right.
Thanks for playing.
Arthur's like, my money is not exactly small.
Right. Yeah. Arthur was like, listen. But I know he wants to be listen, Jerry, we all got long money in this room, so you're going to need to sit down somewhere.
Right.
And that's why he removed himself from the committee, because all of a sudden he realized, oh, wait, I'm in a fight with the owners, not the players.
Right.
Not the same thing. It's not the same thing. I can't tell them that they can't play on Sunday. I can't tell them that.
So looks like, Lanice, you got that other Denver Broncos defense this past Sunday. I'm like,
but we got the other, but not even that. We had Brock Osweiler. Thank you, and good night.
Well, no, don't do that to yourself. No. Time out. Don't take credit away from your team by bringing him up.
I'm not, because our defense did very well.
But that's the point.
Because we had Brock Osweiler.
But that's my point. Your defense is actually good. I don't think it wouldn't have mattered watching that game. Y'all were locked in on both sides of the ball. Locked.
I didn't, and again, I missed it. I'm sad. I was getting updates while I was driving back to Charlotte, and I'm gonna take that back. I got 2 updates. Man. The first one was, I think when we first scored, it was 7-0, and then I got it's 14-0, and then I didn't hear anything for a while, so I was thinking, we must be stinking up the joint because I haven't heard anything. And then I got a text message that said, too many touchdowns, I've lost count.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
I said, wait a minute.
It was. I didn't see all of the game, all of it. I mean, because I watched Red Zone. But it was. But see, that's the thing.
My understanding is that they cut away from it on TV. Jennifer was saying, she was like, they switched to another game in the third quarter because it was so out of hand.
But here's the thing: when you watch Red Zone,
you see
a game like that. You see all of the game because they were scoring so many points. Right. They kept going to that game. It was and the Eagles are back in the red zone again. And the Eagles are back in the red zone again. And look at here, the Eagles are in the red zone. Look what just happened. Jay Ajayi just broke 40 yards. Oh, the Eagles are back in the red zone. Every third or fourth play, the Eagles had the ball back. I'm like, what are the Broncos
But Pete,
doing?
Pete, I sense you felt some type of way when you said, "Oh, look, Jay is back in the red zone again."
Jay broke off 46 yards.
Because, like I said,
I don't know.
before,
His knee looks fine.
Like
I don't know.
said
His knee looks
before, the dude did not forget how to run. I said that.
Right.
He did not forget how to run. Now, granted, the Dolphins looked a little better, but that might have something to do with just slightly better quarterbacking. I hate to say it. Jay Cutler is better than Matt Moore. So, yeah, we're going to look a little better. But my point is, Jay Ajayi never forgot how to run. But apparently there was something where they said he and the coaches weren't on the same page and he wasn't putting in the effort and whatever. You think, oh, okay, yeah, let's punish him and send him to the number one team in football currently. That'll show him.
That'll show him.
Right.
Well, yeah, they said, I don't know. They said that he was what did Tony Dungy call him? A malcontent. Rumor was that he was a malcontent on the team. And so that's why they felt like he was bringing negative energy to the locker room.
And so this is the thing that always cracks me up. Now think about this for a second. If that is the case, if that is a true statement, like if we were to believe that is a true statement, right? Why are you trading for this guy? Giving up any type of talent? Because people say, oh, a fourth round. Well, the Dolphins, he was a fifth round pick. But the Eagles wouldn't have taken this guy if they didn't think he was okay to take. Because you don't bring somebody in to mess up a first place team.
Right.
Look, I'm gonna say it like this, and it's not anything. First of all, let's pump our brakes just 1 second, and Lanice, you'll respect this. Let's pump our brakes on Carson Wentz just for 1 second, because all this MVP talk, I get it. Even if he wins, I get it, whatever, right? But why do people, maybe you, because you're a fan, but why do people always tend to get this selective amnesia? I still hear the people chirping in the back, oh, I don't know if Wentz is worth this. I don't know if Wentz is worth that. Because everybody's always been speculating about these young, like Goff and Wentz. You know, all the talk last year was about Dak Prescott. Nobody talked about Goff's potential. People mentioned a little bit about Wentz, you know what I'm saying? But they didn't really they didn't really put themselves out there to say, I think Wentz has got potential, right?
And I think they talked about Wentz because they were more concerned about, okay, well, does he really have anything around him? Well, in
the beginning of the season, they talked about Wentz. And even as Steven said in the Facebook group, he was like, he thought Wentz was the best quarterback coming out of the draft. And,
I remember that.
He stands, and he did say that last year. But actually, I heard several when he was being drafted and we were going through the draft process. I just didn't know who he was.
That's what I'm getting to.
But if you listened to everybody talk after we drafted him, and they were talking about him, actually, most of the commentators and stuff, they were high on Wentz because he was, and I even said it when we were talking about it. I don't know who I was talking to, but when we were drafting him, and everybody was like, "Oh, Lynch, you got a great quarterback." They say this, and I was like, "Yeah, I get it. He's the great white hope." Because all they kept saying was he was the prototype. He was the typical quarterback because he was tall, he could throw, and they were like, but this one's mobile. So I was like, yeah, he's the great white hope because he's tall, he's white, and he can throw the ball from the pocket, but he's also mobile, so that gives him an extra plus. But I was like, I don't know anything about him. But but people were high on Wentz. It just so happens that after we started 3-0, we fizzled badly.
Well, but
so there wasn't much to talk about because last year Wentz did what most rookie quarterbacks do. He hit a rookie slump. Right. And he started playing like a rookie. Dak Prescott didn't, so they was going to talk about Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott running through the league like they were. I mean, it makes sense to me.
But here's what I'm saying though. I get the fact that we're high on quarterbacks, but we've been high on a bunch of quarterbacks that have just fizzled out. I mean, anybody seen RG3 lately? But the point I'm making is,
not everybody was high on RG3.
But everybody wasn't high on Wentz. That's what I'm getting to, because what I'm saying is I get tired of people going with I told y'all Wentz was gonna be great. Nobody saw this coming. Like, this dude got a lot of talent. This dude out here putting up, and I put it this way. I was upset at the fact, Lanice, that they were trying to compare him slightly to Ben Roethlisberger's second year, talking about the Super Bowl contending team. I'm like, he's doing a lot better than what Ben Roethlisberger was doing. He's putting up a lot of, like, he's actually the reason why
I tell people all the time that Ben Roethlisberger, when he won his first Super Bowl, the Steelers won that in spite of him because he played horrible.
Yeah.
I was like,
he played absolutely.
Do you remember
awful.
any signature play that he ever made in that game? No, because it wasn't.
Well, he only threw for like 150, 170 yards.
I think you giving him a lot more yards than that because I don't even remember that. But the point I'm making,
Well, none of the yards were memorable, but I know he didn't throw for, like, he had a horrible game for a quarterback.
And that's what I'm saying. And I'm saying
he didn't even strike a match, right? Not like that. He didn't strike a match.
But what I'm saying is Wentz is doing more with his talent earlier in the process.
Well, that's true.
Then I think people can say you high in potential, but potential can come 5 years from now. His potential is coming now, and that's what's impressive. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm like, this dude, regardless of being, I guess my point is, did you go into this season thinking y'all were a Super Bowl contender?
No.
And that's what
and let me be clear. I still don't know that we're a Super Bowl contender.
No, I'm telling you, Denise. But see, that's the point. You didn't watch that game. I'm not saying Denver is high quality opponents. You only got to play, but you play the people that's in front of you.
But I mean, you play the people that's in front of you. But Denver is, when we had them last week, Denver was the number one ranked defense in the league.
So to my point, give your team some credit. Don't put you ain't.
I mean, I give them credit, but here's my thing. Okay, here's my thing, because I had this conversation with somebody else yesterday when we were talking about it. Here's my thing. I'm not saying that my team isn't good. I absolutely think that we're going to make it to the playoffs. However, when you get to the playoffs, you always get into that. You're going to be up against teams that have been there, done that, and have done it before. We have a super young team. And I am always one that finds it very hard to discredit people that have been there and done that before, because they know that when I get to the playoffs, regardless of how fair to middling I've been playing, regardless of what rank I am in offense or defense, they find that extra switch. They know there's something else you got to flip on to get the job done. I don't have anybody on my squad, including coaching staff, that knows to flip that switch. So I cannot absolutely say, yes, we're going to make it to the playoffs, and I believe right now, this very moment, we're going to go to the Super Bowl. Because I don't. I absolutely don't. I'm looking at the teams that we can potentially face coming into the playoffs, and I'm like, okay, some of them teams have been there before, or they got the coach that's been there before with some of the players.
I only see when you say that, though, I only see one team that fits that bill, maybe two that I would be worried about. But other than that, y'all should be the favorites against everybody else. And that's, for some reason, the Saints defense is starting to play. So you got Drew Brees and you got Sean. The
Saints defense has been playing lights out the past few weeks.
Right. And then you got Seattle.
And they also have a fair amount of people still on their team that went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but they also don't say people was on the team last 3 years where they couldn't win games. So I guess my point is, Lanice, I get what you're saying. You don't discredit people that's been there, done that. But at one point, it's okay to say that the young team can do it, because Seattle wasn't like that veteran when they ran off to. Yeah, so my point is, they were young too.
But also,
they're just old now.
Seattle wasn't that veteran when they went, but were they a favorite? Absolutely not. Why? Because they didn't have any experience and nobody could peg that they were going to be able to do that. What Seattle did that year, especially with Russell Wilson, Nobody saw that coming, and nobody called it.
And that's what your team is doing.
So for me to be like, I'm all in, I could absolutely be like, I'm all in because it's the Eagles. So I'm a pull for them every week. I don't ever pick against them in the pool. I'm always going to pick my squad. I don't care who we're playing. But for me to sit here right now and be like, I'm 100% positive we're going to the Super Bowl, I'd be lying to you. I'd be absolutely lying to you.
I wish I had your problem.
Because I don't know that.
Rod, I wish I had her 8-1 or 9-1.
Right.
Right.
I mean, don't be wrong. 8-1 looks great. I'm excited about it.
Lenise, did you realize that you can lose 3 games in a row and still be in first place?
Yes. And I absolutely love that.
Your team is balling, girl.
I absolutely love all of that. But again, the Super Bowl is we in week 10. The Super Bowl is still a long ways away.
Okay.
Cautiously optimistic.
All right. I'm like that. I would absolutely love to go to the Super Bowl. I'd love to go to the Super Bowl and win.
It sounds.
But we're sitting at the bye week. Last year, sitting at the bye week, we were undefeated.
All I said
and see how that worked out.
I said was contender. I didn't say you were locked into the Super Bowl. I said
so I mean a contender, yes. We're contender, yes, because at this point, I don't know who's going to catch in our division. I don't see anybody catching us to keep us out of the playoffs.
If the Dolphins put up 51 points against the Broncos, I would be raving about an 8-1 Dolphin team right now. Just like I'm raving about them Hurricanes because we won again. Yay. I'm a rave about reality.
I can't be excited about the Hurricanes.
But that's my point. My point is the reality is setting in that this team is actually good. Now I'm like, okay, now I got some expectations for these boys. I didn't have any expectations for certain teams because I know the reality of it is. Just like the Rams. The people that had expectations for the Rams are true fans because nobody in the casual sense started the Rams. Not saying that we didn't think Goff would play better because okay, he's second year, he can't play but so much worse. But
he could be Ryan Leaf.
Right, but my point is that team and that coach, they have put together. Dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, like I said before, and see, it was funny because they were trying to compare. I don't know, Rod, if you heard the commentary, but they was trying to say that the Rams, they were too young. They're good, but they're just not ready yet. I'm like, y'all had like the Eagles are like you just said, they had like the Eagles.
Who said that?
There was like commentators trying to compare because both teams put up 51 points. You got both quarterbacks in the same draft,
right. But both teams are young. Like that's why. That's why I said that. I was like, both teams are young.
And that's why
Lord, we can't keep Jason Peters on the blind side for nothing. God bless it.
But what I said was, but that's what I was trying to say is I said people pick and choose their storyline because I'm like, y'all, because they were like, yeah, the Eagles probably have a better shot. And this is the other because the Rams are young. And I'm like, y'all saying that like they got,
like the Eagles are ready for the return.
They still got McNabb or something. Like I'm like,
right.
This team is strong. This team's got good leadership. The quarterback is playing great. Alshon Jeffries is deciding to stay on the field. That helps a little bit. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But,
he doesn't have Jay Cutler setting him up.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the Rams are one of those teams again. If you mess around if the Rams get a wild card spot, you do not want to be in the 4th spot, you know what I'm saying, in that 3rd spot having to play them in the 1st round.
Well,
you don't want to be the 3 or the 4 team playing the Rams because you might lose.
I even said that when we were talking about the Eagles and stuff. I was like, well, first of all, the Rams make me nervous and we still haven't played them yet.
That would be a hell of a game right now. I'm just trying to figure out with this whole Funches thing because I only saw Funches catch the same amount of balls he caught last 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm gonna let you figure that one out.
I wish I got no words.
My fantasy league.
But I will say this though, McCaffrey did look good running.
McCaffrey's a stud. If y'all use him right, he's a stud.
I had been on the fence because I didn't see him play last year at Stanford, and y'all told me, okay,
he's
past couple of weeks.
Okay, so
what's up?
We have the Cowboys next week.
That's a hell of a game.
W.
And then I don't know.
No, well, y'all got
playing in Dallas.
Oh, yeah, that's a W. They don't play well at home.
We play in Dallas. Listen.
Here we go.
Listen.
Stop playing. Y'all are tripping. I'm an NFC East fan and a football fan. Y'all know Bama's get up for division rivals. Yeah. And it's the Cowboys. We absolutely positively hate each other.
And that means
please understand this. Don't think that they aren't right now talking about we got the Eagles next week on Sunday Night Football in our house. Because chances are when they come to our house, they're not going to beat us. They rarely beat us in Philly.
Well,
so
Zeke might be suspended next week.
And they know that in order to have a chance to try to come out as second in our division, they got to get a win on us. That game is not going to be easy.
No, nobody said the game was going to be easy.
Can we win? Absolutely. Can we win? Absolutely. I don't sit down and be like, oh, but it's a W guaranteed. No, we have to fight for that. Right. We might lose half our starters in that damn game.
Right. So I hate my team. She got a winning team.
I don't hate my team. I don't hate my team, but I'm realistic. Y'all are like, oh, that's a W. It's a given. It's not a given. It's not a given. It's the Cowboys.
Right. Lenise, we're not saying that your team is a given. We were just saying that
both of y'all just said that. Anyway, after the Cowboys, we had the Bears. That's a given. And then we go to Seattle.
I thought it was a given too, but...
Oh, no, beating the Bears is a given.
I'm not going to predict any more games because every time I say your team is good, you fuss me out.
Yeah, y'all get emotional.
I'm not fussing you out because you're saying my team is good. I know my team is good.
Rod, she be fussing me out. I ain't going to say it.
Right.
I know my team is good, but y'all are like, oh, it's a given. Y'all going to beat the Cowboys. Easy.
Okay.
Especially if they have Zeke. That ain't going to be easy because now while my defense is quite quality, what we struggle with is the run.
I don't know that they're gonna have Zeke. Truth be told,
you want to be the Dolphins?
We don't know because one day he's in, the next week he's out. The next day he's in, the next week he's out.
Just text me when he's
I need you to make a solid decision and sit that man.
He's going to court tomorrow. They said, and then he's going in front of 3 judges, and the 3 judges gonna rule, and then it's gonna be pretty much what they rule is going to basically is almost kind of like saying whatever they rule is going to be what it is. So if they rule for him, he'll pretty much probably play out the rest of the season. And if they rule against him, then the NFL can enforce his suspension immediately tomorrow. So by the COB tomorrow, we're supposed to know pretty much what's going to happen with him.
And then they're going to file an appeal and another injunction.
Right.
Well, but that was the thing. That's the thing they said was if the judges, they said the judges before kept leaving that open as an option, he can file another appeal. But bottom line is, I don't think relatively speaking, he could push it off. Like, I don't think he can push it off anymore. I think they basically going to say either yay or nay. I mean, but either way, but here's my thing. And I think the reason why I can see why he wants to keep playing because of the fact that they're trying to keep pace, and he don't want to be admitted to being a person, in domestic violence and a womanizer and things of that nature. But you've already been stained, dude. So it's almost.
Sir, you on TV exposing the girls' boobs and squeezing them.
But I guess my point is with Brady was still trying to fight the fact that he wasn't guilty. And that's what this here is. You were guilty of, and evidence is there, but he's just trying to postpone the way it was done by the NFL. Right. And that's a whole different concept. But that's why I was like, he's never come out and said, I did not do it. He's never said those words. And if he did, I missed it. I'll have to go read it.
He has.
He said,
yes.
He finally said it?
He said it several times that he's not. He said it. No, he said it several times, even from the beginning. He was like, he didn't do it. That wasn't it, and that he's fighting because he doesn't want to be labeled as somebody that does domestic violence because it's not true. No, he said from the beginning. He had said from the beginning that he didn't do it.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that I did not hear that because every situation I've seen, he's never said the exact words. He's always said, "I'm innocent." And everybody kept saying, "What are you innocent of?" and he's never actually come out and said, I did not pull that girl or did not touch that girl inappropriately. Like, I've never seen that in a quote. So maybe
now that wasn't not the thing for the TV. Not the thing for the TV. He hasn't said that. When he is talking about, because the domestic violence part is about his girlfriend saying that he beat her.
That part. Yeah.
That's stemming back from when he first got drafted into the league.
No.
So,
that I do remember that.
Yeah, no, that part he's always said he didn't do that.
I'm talking about
No, I've never heard him say that he didn't grab old girr's boobs.
Right, that's what everybody's
saying. No, I've never heard him say that.
But he can't say that anyway because it's on camera.
It's on camera. We've seen the video.
But my point is, that's what this is really all about, is the latest incident. Like, that, the other stuff kind of taints him up to the point of reason why he's going through it because of what happened.
Right.
And I get that. I would deny the hell out of that too if you didn't do it. But this whole concept of the couple of little things that he's done since he's been in the league, that's what they're saying. And like I said before, at this point, I'm not saying it's old news because it's still serious to a certain point, but it's so crazy to me that he will not accept this thing. He keeps filing these appeals, but they say the judges...
Well, what he should have done, and I said this from the beginning, because even though Tom Brady fought tooth and nail and managed to play a whole season under appeal,
and win a Super Bowl,
at the end of the day, he still had to serve his suspension.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knew from the beginning, at some point, Ezekiel Elliott is going to serve some type of suspension. What he should have done was gone in and tried to get it reduced from 6 games to 3 or 4 and taken those at the beginning of the season. Now he's fighting because, oh, wait, I'm going to have to serve this suspension. And, oh, crap, it's at the peak time of the season. And the Cowboys have, on paper, as they say, one of the hardest schedules to finish.
Yeah.
Everybody knew that from the beginning of the year. Yeah. 1 million people, fans, non-fans, commentators, everybody. Man, take this 6 game at the beginning. You've seen it happen 1,000 times where players are like, oh, I'm going to appeal. And then they'll be like, nope, not going to appeal. I'm going to sit these 3 games out at the beginning of the season.
And see, the thing about that is...
go ahead and get this work because you know you have to get this work.
Yeah, because the thing about it is, too, he's got 6 games. So he
but typically when you go in... When you go in and argue, they always back it down. And
when they didn't, that's when he should have been like, okay, they're not backing down from this. So if I do,
he didn't ask for that.
I think initially he did go in I think he went in thinking that they were going. Like when you appeal, it's to get it reevaluated, and then typically what we've seen is, okay, it's not 6, we'll give you 4. But when they came back and said, no, you getting that 6. To your point, he should have been like, okay, these dudes are serious. Maybe I should just go ahead and take this. But now he's, like you say, he's got to fight it out because at any point in time he sits, Cowboys are the rest of their season is in jeopresy because he is a difference maker. He
absolutely is, and he makes everything better for Dak Prescott.
Dude can play. I mean, it's not rocket science when you got a guy that can run, you got an offensive line that can block.
Right.
It makes everything else around it. Look, it makes everything else that looked normal look that much better. Like Dak Prescott throwing an out route to Jason Witten looks so elegant when you're running the ball for like 200 yards. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a difference when you losing by 2 touchdowns and you're on a 3rd and 8, you got to hit that one pass as opposed to a 3rd and 1. Oh, here, first down, hand the ball off, first down.
That's why it's better. Everything's prettier that way.
Yeah, that's why I get back to Jay Ajayi. He ain't forgot how to run. When you got a guy that can run, you don't give up. Like, runners have such short lives now that when you get a good one, you better
keep
it on the hill.
That dude.
They have short lives and they are hard to find. Like it used to be a good running back was a dime a dozen in the NFL.
But you know what it is though. But you know what it is. When you got college football banking on spread run pass option offenses, You don't need a good running back because all the running back got to do is make one read and one cut. So when you get a Leonard Fournette, when you get a Dalvin Cook, when you get an Ezekiel Elliott, that's why Dalvin Cook's injury was so, was like, dang, this dude, because he was balling. Leonard Fournette.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
Leonard Fournette, okay.
We missed him in Florida State. I mean, I know he had to go, but we missed him.
Yeah, but I guess, and the whole thing about it is that and I think Ezekiel Elliott knows that you're not going to play, like, it's very rare. Like, think about it. Who right now, other than Adrian Peterson, and we've seen Adrian Peterson get hurt, then have some issues with getting into a new team. But there's not a lot of court running backs that you can look at the roster and say he's been there for 8-9 years, because that doesn't happen anymore. You know what I'm saying? There's no real, think about it. If there are even a running back that we can think of that's, has been running the ball like a Jerome Bettis for 7-8 years, other than Adrian Peterson. Even Jamal Charles fell off. LaShawn McCoy I'll give you that. You're right. LaShawn McCoy.
And if it weren't for Chip Kelly, he'd still be running in Philadelphia, but I'm not bitter.
Right. Yeah, I'm a little upset about this whole hurricane thing, man, because it's almost basically saying, like, do y'all realize, like, look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Miami is prone to be the Alabamas and the Georgias of the world right now. And like you say, any given Saturday or Monday night or whenever the championship game is, the team can get beat. And plus, these are 18, 19, 20-year-olds that get emotionally uninterested, like Ohio State did this past weekend. But the bottom line is, this is still Miami. How the hell are we undefeated and we still 7? I'm like, and we beaten 3 top 25 teams. I'm like, we're still 7? Everybody lost.
They don't like y'all.
Everybody lost. Clemson barely won. We beat the brakes off of, well, not the brakes, but we beat a break off of Virginia Tech.
You beat one break.
A break.
You beat one break.
One break. Well, had you beat 2 off of them, you'd probably be higher.
And I don't care what anybody say. When you put these young folks on prime time as opposed to the 3:30 game, that's a bigger stage. And it's a lot more expectations for you to perform. We at home, we got the pressure all on us. We got everything to lose. We go out here and take care of business and look good doing it. And we couldn't move up. We moved up 3 spots to 7. From 10 to 7.
Hey man, listen, slow and steady.
Proud to make that run though.
Well, not. I mean, if we beat Notre Dame, they ain't gonna have no choice but to put us in the top 4 because Notre Dame will fall off. But I'm like, and TCU and Oklahoma about to knock each other off. One of them are gonna lose, so one of them are gonna fall off. So I mean, we got to take care of business this weekend at home. But jeez, Louise, I'm like, just gonna make these dudes have to go undefeated to get in. But I will tell you this though, Lenise, they messed up.
Why you sound like Birdman? Put some respect on my name.
Right.
Put some respect on my name.
Yeah, like we Miami of Ohio. This the U, man.
They forgot. Y'all must have forgot.
Wait, isn't that where Ben Roethlisberger went to school?
I don't know, but that's what I'm saying. I'm like, they act like we the Miami of Ohio. I'm like, this is the damn U, man. We are unfreaking defeated and can't get no better than 7?
Oh, God.
And the team that won the championship is in our conference? Come on, man. Give me a break, man. But if we beat Notre Dame, you best believe I'll be there front and center in Charlotte watching the ACC championship against Clemson. I will be right there. I didn't even realize the daggone game was in Charlotte. I was like, I'll be at that one.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, why would I pay attention, Lenise? We ain't been there. When the last time Miami been in the ACC championship game? Why would I pay attention?
Listen. Florida State's been there. Why?
So you would know.
So
I would know
there, right?
because usually by this time of the year, by this time of the year, we've got 3 or 4 losses. So I don't need to be paying attention to what ACC championship where it's played. Who cares?
Florida State's been out there.
Yeah,
Florida State's been there. But they was in my backyard. Go no, so we was there for it.
So now I get the. I was like, oh, there it is in Charlotte. I'm like, why would I know that? Oh.
ACC Championship Belt Bowl.
Well, no, remember ACC Championship was in Jacksonville a few years, too. It was in Jacksonville a couple years. because I actually almost went down. Somebody got me tickets to go when y'all actually Florida State was in it about. Was that Jameis Winston's sophomore year? I think y'all was in it. It was.
They were here.
They was in Charlotte.
Both of them.
Look, one time
I can tell you, the year we won the national championship, it was definitely here because Orrin was here.
No, it was definitely. No, I was there when y'all won the national championship. Who
and
was
he was here.
Who was the quarterback before Jenny? Who's the quarterback?
Can't think of his name.
Yeah, never mind.
I can't look. Can't think of his name. But the two with Jameis, they were here. They were here in Charlotte.
So this probably been a little while back then. Because I just remember my boy Steve, the guy I got season ticket holders up in Indianapolis. He's a Florida State grad, and I remember him coming to Jacksonville, and he was like, "You gonna meet me down there?" I was like, "No, I ain't going. I'm not going root for no Florida State." Jacksonville cool. I go hang out, but I ain't going to their game root for Florida State. Yeah, basically.
He was like, nah.
They got gators in that. They got gators in the water down there. They ain't coming down. I'm just playing. No, they do though. They do got some gators.
They do. Let me tell you something. The gators in Florida, they roll up anywhere, anytime, any place. There was a friend of mine when he lived there in Tallahassee, and he used to go play basketball at some apartment complex. He would roll over and play basketball. And I was talking to him one day, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm on my way to play ball. I'll call you when I get done." I was like, "All right, cool." And he called back like 10 minutes later. And I was like, "Bruh, that's the fastest game ever." And he was like, "Oh, there was a gator on the court." What?
Game called next.
I was like, what? He was like, I pulled into the parking lot, and they were like, "There's a gator on the court." And so a couple of them, of course, they were like, "Yeah, whatever." So they get out the car, and they start heading towards the court, and they're like, "Oh, no word, really. He got next." Okay. And they got back in the car and down.
Gator got next.
I have never.
That was like, oh no, he got next. Okay.
I've never experienced, and I pray to God, I'll never have to experience a live gator like loose. I've been to like the gator parks, and I've seen the gators, and I've seen the feeding, and got kind of within 6 feet from one where they had them in the cage and all that. But to see one loose in regular life, no.
There was
in the park.
And there was actually a street section, neighborhood, part of the road in Tallahassee. They actually called Alligator Alley because people would come like you would instead of like hitting deer and deer crossing, the alligator crossing. You would be worried about hitting the gator, and if you break down, you can't get out because it would be like when I was in grad school. My boy was like, "Yeah, well, if you ever have car trouble here on this road, don't get out your car. Wait for the police to get there." And I'm like, "Well, if I got to get out and walk," he was like, "Yeah, don't do that." Don't get out and walk in this area.
I wonder what people did when they didn't have cell phones.
I have no idea. I guess
they were
their lives.
You ever think about that now? Like, what do you do?
What did they do without a cell phone? Yeah.
Like, we go into panic mode when we see that 10%.
Right.
But like 10%. Oh God! You got a plug?
You got a charger?
You got a charger?
Can I borrow your charger, bro?
We was at our vacation in the DR, and we was sitting in the main bar right in the main lobby, and the bartender was like, "Hey man, you got a charger? My phone. Hey, what you need? You need a drink? Let me get you a drink. You got a charger?" Cats be panicking when they see that 10%, boy. I was like, even all the way across the islands. Anyway, I don't
really worry until I get down to about 6 or 5, and then I'm like, "Oh, I need to find something to plug this in."
I'll be running too much stuff. I get to 10. It's on countdown. Start counting backwards from 30. Anyway, it's a wrap.
And on that note, I'm going to leave y'all because I am funny. I'm down to 10% battery life.
See? Told you.
But it's not my phone. It's my tablet.
But
you said you charge your tablet when you leave out for work.
No, I said what I got. But I was only home from work for about 15 minutes before Pete sent the thing, so it went from 48% to 55.
She got it at 55, Nancy. Now that's your fault. Sitting there talking bad about
Well, I did say I forgot to charge it before I left for work today. I did.
My tab holding on to
I totally
22.
forgot when Pete sent the message. I was like, "Oh, we are supposed to record tonight," because usually I throw it on the charger on Wednesday before I leave for work, and I forgot.
Yeah, for talking bad about your first place 8-1 team. All right, I'm gone.
You know what? Peace. Clown.